Hello, everyone. Today is December 12th, and this is our meeting number 11. In order to proceed to public victory, we will strengthen our private victory, and we will go through all 10 meetings we had, and we will have a discussion for the major points which we learned so far. Right now we are discussing the maturity formula. Yeah, thank you, Stefan. Thank you, Nicole. It was very good answers. A different question about maturity formula. Did it help to you somehow? But right now you said theory, and you were absolutely correct. How did it help you in your life? You remember also that VR cannot be completely in, for example, dependent level. We are not completely in interdependent level, and so far. So some parts of us, of our character, can be dependent, and some parts can be independent, and also we actually can be partially interdependent. Did you analyze yourself? Did you apply it to some other people? Did you see in where they are? It's not for judging. It's to help us to understand how to have a conversation with them, how to behave with them, because it's completely different behave with interdependent person and depend in with the dependent person. Yes, Stefan?
Yeah, it's habit one is really hard. Getting a grip on yourself and really living it out. So reaching independence for me is really hard. Being having a mission that sticking to that mission, and that it allows you, that helps you to
Okay. Hello, Maria. Hello, Violeta. Hello, Christine. And hello, Carlos.
Hello.
I don't see you. I just checked, say hello to people who came. Please, if you've heard, right, that today we will briefly go through all 10 meetings in order to strengthen our private victory. Please, who would like Richard?
This is one of my favorite subjects, maturity level, and definitely we have some bad examples of dependence all over, all around us. Whenever somebody blames somebody else for something that happened, that's a dependence. Independence being the ability to be able to listen, diagnose a problem, accept your part in the responsibility in that particular problem, and then go about finding solutions. But with the world the way it is now, we have very many examples of dependent activities going on all around us that we have to somehow remove ourselves from.
Yes, thank you, very proper answer. Yes, basically why we need to know that in order first diagnose yourself. For example, you remember I was telling that in spirituality there is very interestingly the same ladder, and the dependent level, it's equal ignorance. Independent, it's passion, and the interdependence equals grace. and that ladder is like for 5,000 years exist. And basically to critically and lovingly look at yourself, and when you figure out where you are have dependence, just work on it. For example, it's said that 70% of people right now in independent level. But for example, let's take independent person who is really independent, who is responsible for himself or herself. But for example, he or she depends from the other people's opinion. Or that independent person very sensitive to critique or very sensitive to praise. It's dependency. So just figure out it and work on it and strive for go higher. Yes, thank you so much. Let's move ahead. We have many interesting topics. So this was our review. What habit number 1? Be proactive. So I think this was interesting slide. So this is actually Mr. Covey was saying how we are living. This is very straight related to maturity formula, right? So somebody said to us, good, for example, somebody said, good, Lina, and I'm happy. Somebody said to me, oh, Lina, you're bad, and I'm unhappy. So, and good, bad, and my reaction is predictable. So this is why we need to work on our maturity level. I think, oh, this guys, it's so deep. Mr. Covey is saying it's not what happens to us, but our response to what happens to us that hurts us. It's unbelievably deep. Is anybody wants to say something?
Are you? I just came in, so the slide that is still on the screen is the maturity formula.
Oh, seriously?
Yes.
Oh, thank you for letting me know. How did it
You're
happen?
welcome.
Oh, I'm going in the slide. Okay.
Yeah.
This, I'm sorry, I'm already in a different. Let's do this. Okay. Thank you for letting me know.
You're welcome.
This. So I was describing this slide.
Okay.
And now we are discussing this.
Yeah, it's like you're saying, it's very deep, but it's so true. It's how we react to what happens to us that can make us or break us. And
yes.
that I totally agree with.
Yes, Mr. Covey was saying, do you remember, guys, that we are everything what we see, we are going through everything going through our brain. Everything is going through us, and our brain is giving interpretation of the world. So we don't see the world how it is. We see it through our interpretation. And for example, I couldn't resist and put just one slide from our future meetup, which is called Buddha Brain. And guys, this is fascinating thing, and it's already science. Let me read. Only a small fraction of the inputs to your occipital lobe comes directly from the external world. Only a small fraction comes from the external world. The rest comes from internal memory, stores, and perceptual processing models. So basically, your brain stimulates the world. Each of us lives in a virtual reality that's close enough to the real thing that we don't bump into the furniture. And it's already science. It's exactly what Mr. Covey is saying. So when I was saying that every time I discover something new and how deep that book, it's unbelievable how that book and what he's saying is deep. So, but this year we will start for the new people, we will start a new meetup, Buddha's Brain, on January 5th, and we will discuss everything, why we are doing that, what's happened with our brain. Change your brain, change your life. So what is this? Who remember? This is, I will help, this is proactivity gap. Yes, Stefan?
So between stimulus and response, there is a space, and in that space is self-awareness, imagination, conscience, independent will. These are powers that of your mind that you can execute before you choose your response.
Beautiful, thank you.
So can I,
Yes.
this is the proactive model, right?
Yeah, this is proactivity gap.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to stay just a little bit on this. It's very, very important. Yes, Richard.
Well, I had a strange, not a strange thought, but a different thought on this subject, in that there's something called a fight or flight response that supposedly we have when there's a stimulus that is threatening in some way. And I believe that there's probably a little bit more to the just flight and fight response. If you don't take the time or you don't have this proactivity gap, then yeah, that becomes clear that you're going to react in that way. But there may be other choices other than fighting or fleeing. So that's the thought that I had on that popular saying. But yeah, you can definitely choose. You have a freedom to choose your response. And how often do we, when we're faced with something that's, let's say, disturbing or threatening or loud or disrupting, how often do we just wait a few seconds and think about what our response should be? It's difficult to do, for sure.
Absolutely. Is anybody work on it? Is anybody practice to have that freedom? It's actually, guys, very, very, very difficult. Somebody is telling, wants to say something? DG, yes, go ahead.
All right, I just wanted to add, it is very difficult. And the visual that I always keep in mind, especially when I'm dealing with my young adult kids and my 13-year-old and even my mom, I just have to put a period on it. I just, when I think I'm going to, have to respond all the time, I just immediately reflect on how my grandmother did an excellent job on not always responding to everything, but putting a period and not having to just verbally respond. And it takes a lot of practice, but it sure is empowering.
Such a beautiful ending. Thank you so much. What I want to say, you are pretty lucky that you had an example, or you have an example, and lucky children who have parents who just able to respond like you described, or not always respond. So they have that proactivity gap, and it's much more difficult for people who actually have parents who responded right away and who was arguing right away. And of course, we unconsciously do that, but it's not, doesn't mean that, for example, those people are bad. It's means just the amount of job. So it means they need to work harder to insert that proactivity gap, because it's actually very simple. Well, this is our reaction, and this is our logic. So if we got the reaction, we will, some stimulus, we will react right away. And this is made by nature. In order, if we are scared, we need to run right away.
It's very
Our
true.
logic is here. So, and now we need to make a new way. And you know that our brain is plasticity. We can create a new pathways. Yes, thank you. Thank you again, Michelle. Violetta, please.
Hi guys. For me to make a freedom to choose is the bracelet helps. I've been using it on and off, but I noticed in the beginning it was really hard because I forget it's in my hand. I have a bracelet which is very easy to take off from the one hand and to put it to another hand, which gives you roughly 2, maybe 3 seconds for your brain to think. And instead of a reaction, you can choose the freedom to choose self-awareness, imagination, independent will, all of those.
Great. So you mean before to answer, right?
Right.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Violetta. Richard, please.
I recall about this word freedom, that when somebody stimulates me in order to generate a response, a negative response, if I respond in the way that they intended me to, then I've really lost my freedom. But in order to maintain my freedom, I need to choose what kind of response I will give, rather than give the response that the other person is trying to generate.
Yeah, yeah. Well coordinated answer. Thank you. Thank you. So just a short reminder that nobody was thin and they wake up with this all over muscular. It's needs time, and to train our habits, it's also needs time. And this is a full habit form in 50-60 days. It's just a reminder. I absolutely love this, guys. So in habit number 1, be proactive. We were learning that I am the creator of my own reality. And believe me, guys, that even from the spiritual point of view, if, for example, you will go and learn deeply spirituality, you will find absolutely the same. So the deeper we are in the dependent level, the more we think that it's somebody else's fault. It's government, it's not good, not appropriate country, bad neighbor. If my wife would be not so reactive, if my husband would earn more money, it would be better. So it's absolutely not. So we are the creator of our own reality. So if you want to add something, please go ahead. Okay. Who remember about this? It's a wonderful, wonderful topic again. We went through so many beautiful topics. Who remember, guys, what is this? Circle of concern versus circle of influence. Yes, Richard?
Oh, I remember. This is
Oh, go ahead.
this is the proactive and versus the reactive. One, the proactive, it leads you to growth and to making, you know, decisions that are better for you and for the world. And reactive, you don't think before you speak, before you make a decision.
Okay. Okay, Maria. Yes. Richard?
I noticed in the graphic that on the proactive side or the left side, the circle of influence is bigger than on the right side, the reactive. When you feel that you have influence or that you have that you can handle it, in other words, you're more likely to be more calm and make better decisions. Whereas when your circle of concern is bigger than the circle of influence, you feel like you have less control and you have many more worries than you should. So proactivity can help increase the circle of influence.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Very good answer. So this circle will help to be more precise. So while Richard explained the theory very well, let's go into details. So guys, this is circle of our influence. It's my thoughts, my words, my action, my behavior, my reaction, my decision, choices, my attitude, mindset, my mood, my work. This is a direct control. This is circle of influence. This is actually indirect control. And what does it mean? That while we have some influence, whatever we are going with the other people, we cannot be in direct control. So it's already indirect control. This is completely circle of concern. So circle of influence and circle of concerns. So this is circle of concern. We don't have any control. And while we concentrate on weather, public transportation, sport, media, celebrities' behavior, strangers' comment, cyber threats, economy, prices, traffic, where you were born, death, government policy, threat of war, we don't have any control of all of this. And we are just wasting our time. We are wasting worry about this. We are wasting basically our life. And plus we are wasting our energy. What Richard noticed here very well, that the circle of influence here bigger, because basically this is circle of concern bigger. Basically we are getting what we are concentrating on. We are getting what we focus on. Our focus, our attention is a magic. It's actually have magical quality because we are getting what we are focused on. And if we are the whole day, we are sitting and they're saying, I'm unlucky, I cannot do this, nobody likes me, nobody respects me, we are actually growing by ourselves. And while you can tell me, Lena, we've heard about it, just accept it one more time, and it's a serious thing. Because I am the creator of my reality. Do you remember Mr. Covey said, I am the creator of my own reality. There's many, many interesting things, but let's say we will move ahead. Так, we are 2, 3. Guys, do you see meeting number 5? Do you see?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. Now I will. So we were talking a lot about who am I. I won't spend much time. It's out of actually Mr. Covey. But this question should be one of the most important questions of our lives. Because if we don't know who we are, how we can operate this machine. If we don't know car, we cannot operate the car. So this is very good also. 7 steps to listening maturity. Is anybody practice it? Is anybody at least try to do that?
Yes, yes, of course.
Wonderful. Maria, share with us.
I always have had the desire and the it gives me joy, honestly, to listen to people.
Mhm.
I made myself available to anybody that wants to come and just vent. I don't have to share my opinion. I don't have to speak back to them. I just lend my ear. And I find joy in doing that. I try to understand what they're trying to tell me without being judgmental. I honestly practice 1 through 7 daily, on a daily basis, honestly.
Wonderful, wonderful. You are much ahead of me, I can tell you. I absolutely love this, 7 steps. However, I practice them when I remember. And sometimes I don't remember, and yeah, I need to do it. I need to do it more.
I'm better at listening than I am at speaking.
Thank you. Very inspirational sharing. So at habit number 2, we were talking that all things are created twice. And this is our first mental creation, which is actually very, very important. And by Mr. Kovitz considered even more important than physical creation. Why? Because if we will create something wrong, we will build something wrong. So first we need to spend time to create the right thing mentally, or make the right blueprint, and then work. It's basically like what is first, management or leadership, and definitely leadership is first. Remember our centeredness. I will just go through very, very quickly. The spouse centeredness, family, children, work, money, possession, pleasure, friend, enemy centeredness, church, and self-centeredness. What was the point of all of it?
The point of all of this that you
Yes,
just mentioned?
yes, we were talking about all of them, all of the centeredness. What was the point about them? What did we learn from it?
Where we put our energy into?
Okay, okay. Who else?
Those alternate centers don't lead to long-term success. They are weak point. They make the person weaker over the long run.
Very, very good answer. Thank you, Stefan. Nicole?
I forgot it right now, but I was gonna say, give me a cue, because the pictures aren't self-centeredness. The pictures aren't stirring my mind. I just had it and it left me. Oh, our centeredness. It actually draws our awareness to where we might be overly invested in, say, spousal centeredness. So it allows us to balance it more by being aware.
Beautiful, also beautiful answer. So I don't have anything to add. And of course, in habit number 2, we were discussing, and we somebody wrote already their mission statements. So I want to ask you guys who were with us, is anybody else wrote her mission statement? Okay, so we spent plenty of time on it. It's who wrote? Would you like to say a couple of words? Just a couple of sentences. How mission statement help you? How do you value it, and do you need it? Yes, Richard.
Yeah, for me, it's as I've said before, it's here visible to me on my boat. It's visible to me every day. There are portions of it that I do naturally, and it reinforces those points. And there are things that I don't do very well that I need to remind myself of as often as possible.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's move ahead. So we are at habit number 3. Start the first thing first. And what I want to show, this is private victory. It's our chapter, first chapter, and the habit number 1, be proactive. So I am the creator of my reality, right? Habit number 2, it's actually your mental creation. Create it with your mission statement. That you would know where to go, you would know what to do, you need to put dates, you need to put your goals, you need to know your mission. And habit number 3, it's already physical creation. So you start to live it, you start to work on it, you start to build it. What else here? Yes, and here is our time management matrix. It's actually basically our scheduling. I personally absolutely love it, and I'm religiously use it for 1 year. I did it periodically before. I start and I finish. Oh, you know how it's easy. I wanted to make a joke, but it's okay. Is anybody have scheduling? For example, what I'm using, and I have, I don't remember. Well, this is examples of my scheduling. I actually don't have, don't follow exactly. Well, this is examples just from the internet, Mr. Kovi's weekly worksheets. So he's actually saying that don't plan daily, plan weekly. But they not really work for me. I like this, and this is basically this is 1 year ago, and this is how I modified for right now. No, this is empty. Usually it would be I will write everything here. So this is you see slightly green. This is my quadrant number 2. This is my already practice, which is going from quadrant number 2. This is just what I need to do during the day with the time. And I actually illuminated, let me shortly. So I illuminated, I don't have quadrant number 4, time wasting. I don't have it. I basically illuminated I don't have distractions. I don't. And what quadrant number 1, crisis, it's basically if you're a procrastinator, right? Then you have crisis because you keep, and finally you have deadline project which you postpone. before I had it, let me show. So 1 year ago, this was fire. If you see, it's written there. So this is was my fire, or not necessarily deadline, but the most important. And 1 year after, I don't have it. If anybody wants to say something, maybe you have different schedule. Do you want to share?
Would you be able to share that with us? Or
Share what?
This actual scheduling that you use.
Yes, so thank you for asking him. We were going through that people are living in these 4 quadrants. And the quadrant, and you see they are formed from urgent and importance. And the quadrant number 1, it's when we procrastinate and we need to do something immediately, or actually not necessarily only procrastinate. Something is very important. What you need to do immediately. It's time calling right away. This is distraction. It's okay. For example, we need to do something. It's what we need to do, but not really important. Something like that. This is complete time waster. It's what can I say? Don't do anything. Watch a movie, computer games. Just whatever came into my mind. And this is quality time. This is quadrant number 2, where all proactive people are. So this is our future plan. This is it's important, but not urgent, and because we don't do it in the correct time. I hope I'm answering your question.
Yes. However, you said you went online and you found those time matrix schedules under Stephen Covey's.
Yes, yes. I just typed Covey's schedule or time matrix, and it will give. We'll see weekly worksheet.
Okay.
So, and I just put examples, and I tried to work with them, but again, just repeat, they didn't work for me.
Okay.
And I did mine, but it's strictly based on quadrants. What you
No,
do. So this is quadrant number 1, it's a crisis, fire. This was my quadrant number 2. This was daily schedule by hour. And with this actually, it was quadrant number 3. And during the time, so I illuminated and I have this. And if guys, if you will go with your schedule, you also eliminate your quadrant number, crisis number 1, and all the time wasting. So did you like discipline? I absolutely love it. Guys, if you will like discipline, this is your road. This is you will go. This is your dream will come true to you. This is actually loving your love. This is a discipline. And if you won't follow your discipline, this is where you ended up. Check. So we were, I think we are going to the end. I'm very happy that we are going well. Please participate if you want to say something. So what is here? So we were talking, it's we are already finished habit 3, and we were in paradigm of interdependence. It's a step toward public victory. So, and Mr. Covey said that there is on the road to success, there is no shortcuts. And you even cannot parachute to this terrain. So what does it mean? It means you need to work, you need to practice. Oh, this is, guys, fantastic topic. Who remember what is that? Yes, Richard.
Again, a very enlightening subject of what Covey called an emotional bank account, not necessarily having to do with emotions, but it's a bank account that you share with someone else, and in it you make deposits of that bring trust and love, and you can certainly try not to make any withdrawals, but there might be some. And as long as you have a very good balance in your account, then your relationship or interdependence is steady and working. Once you get to the bottom of the bank and have a very low balance, you begin to lose trust in the person, or the other person begins to lose trust in you. And of course, the interdependence between the two is failing.
Very nice answer. Thank you. Anybody else wants to add?
Hey, Richard said it quite well.
Yes, yes, I agree. So to just make a visual aid for people, Sean, one moment. What he was saying, our deposits into emotional bank account, it's our honesty, courtesy, respect, kindness, apology, forgiveness, and keeping commitments. And our withdrawals, it's dishonesty, discourtesy, disrespect, betraying, overreacting, ignoring, threatening. So it's summarize what Richard said. Yes, Sean, please.
I was just gonna add on to what he said. I think it was something about, not letting people, wear on your bank account, your emotional bank account, not allowing people to make withdrawals. I think you were saying, like dishonest people and disrespectful people. If we get angry and upset, that's taking withdrawal away from our own emotional bank account.
Yes. Are you asking Richard, or you were confirming what he said? Sean, are you asking Richard, or you are confirming what he said?
I was just confirming. Yeah, he got to me. He got to it first.
Yes, you like what he said. Yes, I completely agree with you. And this, when we were reading, we actually still didn't discuss much about automatic withdrawals, right, Richard? You ask this question. Is right now what is automatic withdrawals clear to you? Or maybe we will ask people, what does it mean? So Mr. Covey is saying that all deposits evaporate. And there are sometimes even automatic withdrawals. What does it mean? What did he mean with automatic withdrawals? So let's come back here. So this we will see withdrawals. Dishonesty, discourtesy is kind of clear, right? This is withdrawals. But what does mean plus? Can you imagine plus to this? Plus automatic withdrawals. Come on, how to live? Can it be automatic deposits? Yes, Richard.
Unfortunately, we can think that way. We think that we're great and that we're doing perfect, and there's nothing wrong with us. So that you're constantly making deposits, you believe, and
because I'm so good, I'm so beautiful, I'm so
yeah.
nice. So just my appearance, just I'm here, and it's already a deposit. I absolutely love it. Unfortunately, guys, some people do that. Some people think this way. But I agree with you. I think there is no automatic deposits. It's probably when we in love, when we just fall in love and just it's just enough to show up, and it's already deposit. But unfortunately, it's finishing. But what again? What is automatic withdrawals? Just you can answer from yourself, from your life. Or just say, I wasn't aware of it, I didn't know that. Just say something, guys. I don't want to talk much, I want that you would talk. Somebody started, go ahead.
I think an automatic withdrawal or could be surrounding yourself with people who, are not in your front row. You're on stage and those people in your front row are supporting you without judgment and also with care and only wanting the best for you. And, I consider those people who are in the, parking lot and can't get in to see you as those people who are, judgmental, people who are always, negative or not supporting you. I guess holding on to not allowing you to make the changes that you're trying to implement in your life, especially as you're trying to follow, the habits.
Okay, Michelle, it's actually a good try from how I asked from your perspective, from your life. Maria?
I think that if you don't continue to make deposit, of course, then that gives an opportunity for withdrawals. And if you start to show the opposite of what it takes to make deposits, then you are contributing to making a withdrawal. You know what I mean?
Okay.
You make a deposit when you do where's the slide that you had?
You want this, okay?
Yeah. So when you make deposits of all of these, the honesty, courtesy, respect, you are building your account, your emotional account. But if you don't feed your emotional account with these, and instead you replace it with this honesty, this courtesy, this respect, you're going to be totally withdrawn, like empty. So that's the way I see it. Like that's an automatic withdrawal.
Okay. I see what you mean.
Like you just take out, but you don't put in.
Okay. What, Richard?
Well, I guess in a regular bank account, we physically make deposits and we physically make withdrawals. But if we don't physically make a withdrawal, but we do something and causes the other person to make a withdrawal for us, I guess that was something like an automatic withdrawal. So if someone acts in a way that's duplicitous or dishonest, not realizing that the other person is observing what's going on, that's an automatic withdrawal from their end of it, even though you didn't physically do something that to make that withdrawal. That's my interpretation. It's kind of hard to tell though.
Yes, guys, it's actually a pretty tricky question, and we are not really familiar with it. And all what you try to say, everything is correct.
Can I say something?
Okay, go ahead.
In line with what Richard was saying, we do have, in terms of like physically a bank, okay? We make deposits, of course, and we make withdrawals. but we sometimes forget that we have made a commitment also for other companies to go into our bank account and subtract from our bank account. So,
Go ahead.
so if we have to always remember to make a deposit to our emotional account.
Yes, right now your answer was very, very close. Thank you, Marianne. Thank you, Richard. Yes, guys, automatic withdrawals, it's mostly when we don't try and we don't put effort to learn our partner. This is mostly we're talking about family. And the withdrawals usually is going in family or in some relationship. It doesn't go into, for example, in a public place. And when we don't put effort to learn our partner, and for example, I'm saying to my husband, okay, tomorrow let's go to my soap opera favorite movie. And I expect that he would say, yes, I love it. And for example, he's saying, yes, let's go, but he really doesn't like it. So this is, or I'm buying a present for my daughter, which she absolutely doesn't need it, or she doesn't like it. I didn't spend time to figure out what she needs. And I'm doing what I think is good. This is going automatic withdrawal. So for us, it feels good, but in fact, the other person doesn't enjoy it. So and this is how Maria said, listening maturity and listening and learn the other partner is very, very important. And in order to build our emotional bank account, Mr. Covey offered 6 major deposits, and they are fantastic. So first, we need to understand the individual. This is what I was talking about. If we don't understand the individual, we won't be able to put a quality deposit, right? And this is our listening maturity. So we need to remember that we are projecting our experience on somebody else. It's also automatic withdrawal, because we think that what I like, the other person will like, or I liked it 20 years ago and my children should like it too. So this is also automatic withdrawal. So anybody wants to say something? So then we were talking about attending little things. So be kind to your family, be kind to strangers, be kind to extend our responsibility. We talk a lot about responsibility. Extend our kindness to animals. So this is number 3, keeping commitments, clarifying expectations. And clarifying expectation is really, really a good thing. Mr. Covey is saying that from this is going the major problems. And I told my example when we can hours arguing with my husband and only after figure out that we are talking about the same thing. At least we have understanding to each other. And on the other side, we need to remember that clarifying expectations sometimes takes a great deal of courage. I want to say that it actually always takes a great deal of courage. Even if you are already with your partner, if you're already with your spouse, it's much easier to think, okay, somehow it will work out, and hope that things will work out. We don't need to make as a argument, we don't need to scold or be angry, but clarify, just sorry, I didn't understand, what did you mean? It's number 4. Number 5, showing personal integrity. I think this is straight to the point. Be loyal, avoiding deception, apologizing sincerely, and it's all take effort, right, guys? It's not that easy. And the last deposit is the loss of love. And we were talking actually about unconditional love on our message board. And did you read? Patrick posted. Patrick is no, Patrick is not with us today. Guys, you're all almost on the message board. You read it. What is your opinion about unconditional love? What do you think about unconditional love?
This is Liz. I'm
Yes,
not
hello,
sure that I think love is conditional, because if you give somebody all your love and there's no response, it's not really love. Even if on my part it's unconditional, it comes with acknowledgement, it comes with a response, it comes with giving back. So there are conditions attached to it.
Okay, beautiful answer, Sean.
I think unconditional, I kind of agree with what the lady just said. I mean, unconditional love maybe is between like mother and child. Like, no matter how bad my kid messes up, I still love him, you know? But like you said, when it comes to anything else, it's like if you're not getting it back, then that's not love. Or like you said in a couple other meetings, love doesn't have an opposite. You know, love you one minute, hate you the next. That can't be unconditional, you know?
Yes, Sean, thank you. Carlos?
Well, of course it's conditional. I mean, if you have a couple of kids, one starts hurting the other one, it's going to be very hard to love them. Now, the correct thing to do is obviously you got to protect your kids. But again, it's conditional, no matter where you are. Again, if someone starts doing things to hurt themselves that you don't want to be around, I've had this circumstance with friends that love and care about them. I guess I still do, but I'm not willing to watch them destroy themselves. And sometimes love, again, depending on how you define that word, sometimes the most loving thing you can do for a person is to walk away.
I agree with you. Thank you. Who else who didn't talk today? Please participate. This is already a question which we can say without the book. Say, please, guys, your opinion. What do you think about unconditional love? Because if we will read what Mr. Covey said, that he is actually saying that unconditional love is good, and he's actually saying that this does not mean we become permissive or soft. That is a massive withdrawal. We cancel, we set limits and consequences, but we love regardless. Richard, please.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think what we're saying is that the condition of love are some boundaries, and that if those boundaries are violated, we have a choice to make. But if those boundaries are not violated, it is sort of unconditional to that degree. But what he also said there, which I completely agree with, is that this unconditional love being soft and permissive, which means allows for anything without restriction or without correction or without discipline or anything like that, is a big withdrawal from the emotional bank account. It's very negative to a person to be soft and wishy-washy and permissive. You're very likely to be taken advantage of in those circumstances. So I think what we're talking about conditions under conditional love are boundaries, and that's healthy.
Thank you, Richard. Thank you. Good aging. Anybody else?
I just, when I think of unconditional love, and I mean, it really does take practice. It takes a lot of faith and hope. But I just think about the love that, Jesus shows me each day, and that my Heavenly Father does. And one of the things that I also reflect on, I mentioned my grandmother before, and I also had, when I was growing up, because my mother and father got divorced when I was 5, we had a live-in who lived with us most of, our young, young and older life, who was so unconditional regarding her love, and just showed forgiveness in every aspect of how she dealt with us, and even my mother, who at times would criticize her for being so giving and forgiving, and I just think that those have been, I mean, I'm grateful for those two people in my life who showed me what conditional love was. And it's not always easy, but again, I just try to reflect on how, I'm forgiven every day for my sins and how I deal with others.
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you, beautiful lady.
It's over
Yes,
there.
guys, this is, I think, Carlos, did you want to say something?
No, I'm sorry.
I thought you wanted to say something.
My apologies.
Okay, okay. Yeah, guys, this, I think, how many people, how many opinions. So I just also can share with you just my opinion. That's it. Because I partially agree with the condition. What I believe that while we have our bodies pure conditions, we can strive for unconditional love, but unconditional love is pure spirituality. And while it's beautiful to say, for example, I love unconditionally, but is it permanent or it's just temporary? For example, you had the offer a mother love a child, but can she love him or till the rest of life? It's sometimes not possible. For example, if woman, a family, and the man cheated on her every day. Every single day, does she need to love him unconditionally? Is it the right thing to do? Or, for example, abusive relationship. And can you imagine what that woman think? Okay, I was on the meeting and they said that unconditional love is beautiful. Yeah, he's abusive, but he's beating me, but I need to love him unconditionally. So it's with our conditions, it's impossible. Or that unconditional love can be just temporary or momentarily or just some moments. But we need to, our love with our bodies, it's, yes, I agree, it's conditional. It's about, remember Mr. Covey said love is a verb. So we need to work toward that to be conditioned. Yes, Maria.
Yeah, I was gonna add to that unconditional love, like other things in life, is you just don't get it just to get it. You have to earn it. You have to feed it. You have to water it. You have to,
Exactly.
you have to pamper it. You have to deposit. It's not just I'm gonna love you as you are. You have to earn my unconditional love.
Beautiful, beautiful, Maria. I love your answer, and every answer was beautiful. Michelle, your answer was absolutely beautiful, and we are striving toward that. But we just need to be realistic. And if it's, for example, in family where they love each other and they treat each other, but they work toward each other, then of course that unconditional love can grow. But yes, Maria, I agree with you. And who, for example, experience unconditional love? This is not to, I've heard it, so it's even not I created, and I accepted it lightly, so don't accept it as offense. So one guru actually said that unconditional love dogs are experience. And if you would like to experience all your life unconditional love, you need to be a dog. Just become a dog and you will unconditionally love. Our love is complete conditions.
We're so right. Dogs love you no matter what.
Exactly.
Oh my God. Yes.
So guys, we are in a perfect time. I'm very happy. We went through all private victory. I hope you don't regret that we didn't jump in a new habit and we went through the whole our private victory. It's refreshing in you, and maybe you pick up some things which you want to work on. What please, Mr. Covey is saying that if you want practice, nothing will come. Just remember, if you would like to have, you want to drive a car, you want to meetings, you listen, you read all instructions, you know all rules, everything you know, right? But if you physically don't sit and don't drive, you never will be a driver. So, and this is absolutely the same. If you are just coming and listening, yes, of course, welcome. But what is that? It's just entertaining your mind. It absolutely doesn't matter that somebody is saying in playing computer game, lay down on sofa and watching a soap opera, or you are sitting here and listening. It's everything entertaining our mind. Please make a difference. So it doesn't mean that if you don't practice, you're bad. No, so just if you practice, you will be able to change your life. If you don't practice, you remain the same. So simple as that. Yes, you will come here and we will make the third session right now, the second session. And we will make the fourth session, and you will come here and you will listen and you will know and you will read, but nothing will happen. You will remain the same because you need to practice. I'm practicing, and I can tell you it's actually much more difficult than I expected. Because why? I think I'm pretty smart. I read a lot, I know, but when it comes to the practice, it's completely different story. Guys, can I have your feedback? And we are in a beautiful time to finish. What did you get from this meeting? What you plan to catch up, or what you want to practice on, or what is something not understandable, or you have a question? So please, it's again your time. Would you like this kind of reviews after every habit? For example, usually we are going 2 meetings per one habit. Do you want to have a review when I will keep silence and you will share what you work on, what you did? Also, this would be my question. Yes, Maria.
I think it's great that every time we finish a lesson or a habit or anything, to have a review. It gives you it gives us the opportunity to get to hear what others are understanding, and to see if we are on the same page, and to make any clarifications if we are confused about something.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. What do you think, guys?
I'm in agreement.
Thank you, Michelle. Richard, please.
Yeah, thank you for the review. Every time I review it, I remember at least something that I need to work on. But certainly at the time when the situation comes up and I need to work on it, that's the point where I need to remember, yes, I need to work on this right now. And then it becomes more action and becomes more real. Yeah, and I've tried to remember some of these things and then put them into effect during things that I need to work on. But certainly, talking about those situations in these meetings does become a little tricky sometimes because they're personal situations, and we don't want to tell everybody our personal things. But at least in a broad sense, if we can remember the things that we worked on and how it affected us and how it affected the other person, that it's certainly something that we can talk about in a broad sense. But yeah, practice makes perfect, as I say.
Thank you, Richard, very much. Nicole, please.
Yeah, I'd just like to say that it's always helpful to repeat things. Repetition is key. I know during our meetings, I take a lot of notes. So sometimes I miss another portion of what somebody's saying because I'm busy writing down something and I have to get that thought out of my head. So repetition is great. This review was great because sometimes we're jumping ahead, but if it's not solid in us from what we learned prior, you can only go so far forward. So it's very helpful. Repetition is key. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Nicole, very much. Now we have one more opinion who would like to share. Okay, guys, I think everyone who wanted to share shared. I'm very happy that you found this useful. I'm strongly believer, like all of you said, that this is not enough, just even one repetition. The material is so deep that today it was, and for me, as I hope for you, was a great reminder. So let's try. We will go next meeting with habit number 4. We will finish it probably in 2 meetings, and then we will do review. It's fantastic. Think win to win. It's a fantastic habit. So I look forward to see all of you next Monday at 7 p.m. Thank you so much and have a wonderful week.
Thank you.
Thank you, Lena.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Lena.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Lena.
See you
Bye.
next
Good night.
spring.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
My pleasure. Bye-bye.